Music stands are an essential in almost every live instrumentalist toolkit, and while there is no perfect music stand, there are certainly some better than others. As a pianist and accompanist for many years, I've seen my fair share of music stands both in and out of my classical piano performance program. Some stands are extremely sturdy and stable, but at the expense of mobility and being compact, while others are easy to carry around, but can be quite flimsy and tip over with a single accidental push. This is where the KraftGeek Music Stand comes in. It markets itself as a portable solution which can be carried simply in a small bag, while offering enough stability to withstand more pressure than wire stands or similar that can tip over quite easily. Naturally, no stand can be absolutely perfect, and so in this review, I'd like to share my honest thoughts with you on the stand after putting it through its paces for my live recital moments in time. I had the chance to let the musicians I hired use the stand both during our rehearsals and the actual performance together, and they gave me some very valuable feedback. At the very end, I'll share a final rating out of 10, and hopefully that gives you a good idea on whether this stand is a good fit for you or not. With that being said, let's dive in. First, let's start with the positives. The number one selling point to me is definitely the compact nature of the stand, allowing it to fit easily within a small carrying case or backpack. When you take it out of the box, it comes already folded, so all you need to do is unfold the parts one by one, and you can get it done within like 10 seconds with a little bit of practice. Now, this is especially useful if you're a gigging musician and your current stand is simply too bulky to carry around, or you simply want a stand that's easy to transport. The KraftGeek team has really come up with a genius design that allows all the parts to fold into itself in a very natural and smooth way, and I never encountered any awkward moments in setting it up, with the exception of the very first time when I was trying to put it together without reading the manual. Another big plus is the durability and materials used to build the stand. It's built using aluminum alloy, which lends a sturdy feel to the stand and adds a good amount of weight to the overall product. Naturally, this is great if you're playing in an outdoor setting and you really want to minimize any chances of the stand blowing over due to a small breeze. The musicians were all impressed when I showed them how easy it was to fold, and also commented on how good the material felt when I placed it in their hands. Another interesting factor to the stand is the top portion where you place your music. The holder portion unfolds into 3 separate horizontal arms on which you can rest your music from single sheets to a score with a thicker portion of sheets. The middle arm can extend on both sides, allowing the stand to support up to 2 sheets side by side, and also includes a clip on either side with which you can hold your music in place and prevent it from flying away. One other thing you can do to keep your music in place is to fold down the top arm on either side, providing additional support to the back of your music so it doesn't fall through the gaps at the back. I also have to give credit to the height capabilities of this stand. It will allow a decently tall person to read music while standing, while lowering to the point where you can sit and read at the same time. The music holder can also move away and towards you, adjusting the tilt so you can view the music from whichever angle you prefer. One more thing the musicians also liked was the additional Lumi Light add-on that can be purchased in addition to the stand. It's pocket-sized and can be easily unfolded and screwed onto the top of the stand, and requires AA batteries to power. Now, this is really useful, especially during the live performance, because the venue was on the darker side. Another add-on you can buy is the Flexi Mount, or a smartphone tablet holder, which we didn't have to use because most of the musicians used physical sheet music, and the ones using iPads simply replaced them on the stand itself. Now let's talk about a few things that I think could be improved about the stand. The first thing I would have loved is the capability to hold up to 3 or even 4 sheets on the stand at once. I'm not sure how this might compromise the structure and build of the stand, but a number of the pieces I wrote for the soloist came out to 3 pages, and while they were able to balance those pages on the stand, they stuck out at both ends and weren't the most appealing visually. Another element that was commented on by the musicians was the stability of the stand. While they did agree it was certainly stronger than a traditional wire stand, with a slight shove in either direction, the stand would wobble slightly, and with a bit more accidental force, could potentially topple over. Some of the musicians suggested a completely round base to eliminate any balance issues, or even reconfiguring the 3 legs in a different formation. However, in bringing this up with the KraftGeek team, they assured me that after vigorous testing, this was the most stable solution that they could come up with, while ensuring the stand remains compact and foldable. The one other thing I would have liked to see is a little bit more weight support on the stand. The stand is made to hold up to 4.4 pounds or 2 kilograms, and during our rehearsals, some of the musicians using iPads commented on how the stand would gradually lower with no way of locking the current height in place. The fact that there seems to be no tightening or loosening screw for the height adjustment is both a pro and a con, since you're able to adjust the height very easily without turning any screws, but if you exceed the 4.4 pound limit, the stand will gradually lower with no way of locking your desired height in place. So for me personally, I found that sometimes I was able to hold my binder of music on the stand to test things out, while at other times when I added in a few more pages, it started to lower. So where does this leave the KraftGeek Music Stand? Personally, I think this product fulfills a perfect middle ground between the traditional bulky stands that are difficult to transport and the flimsy wire stands that are portable but can tip over easily. KraftGeek has come up with a stand that is not only durable and feels good to hold, but is also easy to set up and put away. It's easily height adjustable, it can hold your music in place with clips and provide additional support from the back, and the Lumi Light and Flexi Mount add-ons can be incredibly useful if you need that functionality. However, I do wish there was a screw or knob in the middle of the stand where you could set the height without fear of it lowering with additional weight, and also have a bit more sturdiness when accidentally pushing or shoving the stand. All in all, I'm delighted to give the stand a solid 8 out of 10, and I think with these minor adjustments it could certainly become a near perfect stand. It's amazing to see how developers are always trying to create a better mousetrap, something that makes our performing lives easier and more stress-free. If you think this stand might be a good fit for you, you can check it out in the description, and if you purchase it using that link, you'll be supporting me at the same time, which is greatly appreciated without it costing you anything extra. I also have to extend a big thank you to KraftGeek, who offered to send me 2 stands and their add-on accessories at no charge in exchange for this review. I hope you found it useful and informative, and I'd love to hear your thoughts below. If you have any questions about the stand, feel free to share down below and I'll do my very best to help. In any case, thank you so much again for watching, and a big thanks to KraftGeek for sharing these products with me and adding a touch of class to my recital. Catch you in the next one.